that should take us back live. I can see myself.
I did get a pop-up. It promptly disappeared before I could click on it.
Alright.
And of course it's not showing notifications suck.
Yeah. Mr. Carrell Science, you still there?
I'm here. Yeah.
All right,
What's
cool.
up?
Oh, just seeing if you're still there. All right, so we got this there.
Oh yes, shows your screen on the stream.
All right, that is what we want. Excuse me.
I'm not sure if it's
Let's see.
on YouTube. It's doing the switch thing in Hangouts, but not on YouTube. What it looks like.
Yeah, let's see if we can. I'm pretty sure it's picking you guys up. Let's see. Let's get rid of this. Because I can hear you guys. Let's see if I can. That's screen. So we are live. Well, it says I know we're live. I can see my screen on there. Live chat. At back to YouTube.
When
Channel.
did those chat through to? That's fine. A little separate chat.
It's
Is
close.
there a separate chat for the Google Hangouts call on the stream?
Yes.
So if I want to comment in the stream, is that going to have to pull up the stream in a separate tab?
Yes, that's what I've been doing. Like, I just sent a message in Hangouts, but it didn't show up on YouTube.
All right, let's see. Oops, this out. Yeah, see, let's see, Hangouts. See if I pull Hangouts over here, you guys can see it on YouTube.
Ooh, Hangoutception.
Chats, let's see.
Oh, there's chat. There we go.
I've got 2 monitors up right now.
I love the double monitors, man. I just got a new monitor too. Amazing.
Free, but I just don't have room on my desk after getting my 4K one. Got 2 now.
I do have chat set up for. Oop, what are you doing? For Google Hangouts, but that's only going to show up there. All right, let's see. YouTube. It's 2 watching.
One of them had me because
I want to do.
All right. I see it, obviously a delay for everything on that. All right, so I've got Fusion 360 finally loaded up. So any questions we can kind of walk through and work on, see what we can get figured out. I really actually like the new look to Fusion 360. They've got this blue top border up here. I think it's been kind of gray, maybe. I know, because I hadn't been off for a while with the move and everything, and so now I've got this all set up.
Blue bar wasn't there at all before, like now it's kind of like browser tabs.
Yeah.
And in the original view, like the technical preview section of the preferences now, you can actually get tabbed bars, like toolbars at the top, so where you click model, patch, sheet metal, and so forth, rather than them being a drop down menu, they're actually tabs across the top, so you just switch between the menus via the different tabs.
Yeah, see, because I've got this up here that I would usually do if I do a new design. So let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, I usually don't do any other thing except for usually just making stuff in Fusion. So I'll go ahead and create a new sketch. This over here. Sketch.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm hungry, sorry.
What's wrong with that, baby guy?
I know you can have it set up so it should pop up between who's talking. I don't know if that's got to do with weird setting.
I didn't see it doing it before, but I haven't seen that way to begin.
So.
I stopped feeding him for a second. He was very happy.
It says, feed me.
I do like being my mum said she doesn't feed me too soon. She waited too long between mouthfuls.
All right, so what I'm going to start to do is actually I'm going to go and create a, I did my sketch. New sketch. I'm going to select this back plane here. And I'm going to go ahead and get myself a rectangle. well, let's see. I don't have the dimensions written down. I actually had in one of the previous ones. Well, let's change this actually real quick. I'm doing the right one. I can change it. 1 millimeters, 2 inches. Exact inches. There we go. All right. I'm gonna pop this up. I want, let's see, 50. Just say 30 points. Back. One's 30.75. This one's going to be, it's called 58 inches. Now, just got to line over 30.5. Yeah, it's definitely weird for me to use inches with this because I've done so much of not using inches. I usually stick it with millimeters, mostly because everything I make is a lot smaller. So anytime I go to make something bigger, I always use my phone or something and ask it how many millimeters this is if it's bigger than my caliper can do, which I got. Usually I don't do anything that big. So let's see, the highest I can go, this is technically 6 inches, but my caliper is a little broken, so I can take it past that. There's a little piece in the back that came off, which I need to design and print just to have the piece. All right. So I'm going to have this up here like that. Got it to the size I want, which looks a whole lot taller than what I'm thinking. So let's take it down to 55. Make it a little easier. One nice thing is hit C for circle. Get on this center line. And let's do that. Tell it to move. And take it down to there. Now, what I like to do is whenever I want to do some weird curves, I can either obviously do circles, or I go in and I do spline. So I'll go in, click a couple of times, and I find a spot to just connect with spline.
See, they go 5 points.
What's that?
They've got 5 points splines now, so rather than drawing the splines like you are,
Yeah.
Control points directly on the spline itself. Like the control points are kind of away from the spline. So if you draw like a straight line and then another straight line off that to form a corner, it'll form a spline between those, and then you can use the corner point as a control point.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty handy to do it that way sometimes, because often using spline handles and become a bit of a nightmare, especially if you're trying to do certain tangents.
Yeah, I can agree with that. All right, let's take this over 12 inches. And I always like to do the same here, which is super nice that I can sit there and just, oop, that's not what we want. I hate when it does that. So usually when I go and I add something and it moves, I tell it to fix. 12. There we go. Let's go ahead and just tell this and this. And I know there's a whole bunch of different ways. Angus is, if he sees this, he's probably just going to cringe at things I do. But not all of us can be as good as Angus, so let's take this to 3 inches.
The first yes, no expert when it comes to this, but all the stuff I do. Very simple and like, well, it might not reflect these actual skill levels. Like you often do hear him say, you know, this is probably not the best way. Other ways to do it. It's just the way I do it.
Oh yeah, and there are so many ways, as we said earlier, to just do something in Fusion. So
I think no matter what, I mean, no matter how good you get at something, you're always going to find someone who's better.
Yeah, that's why whenever Lars puts up a video, I always watch it. 90% of the stuff that does, maybe more, maybe 95% stuff that he puts up, I already know, but it might just be 2 seconds of that video that I'll see do something. I'll be like, holy shit, why haven't I thought that before?
yeah. Yeah. One thing that I had discovered that I hadn't learned, which was kind of nice to learn, is when you select something and say, I don't want everything. I just want this up here, guys. I hit O for offset, and I just take it down. I'll select it. And can give me the exact setup and distance that I want, which is super nice, because here I did a line straight through, but if I were to just select it and then just hit O for offset, I can make that go a lot faster instead of doing what I just did with the line there. So that's one thing to kind of go through and try to remember for Fusion. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that other people can do that not everyone can do. So I know there's that challenge for it. But as you said, not everyone can do the exact same thing as the one before. One person can do it one way, one person can do the other, and then you kind of learn something else. So one thing I have noticed with offset, you scroll up and you can see right here, this sticks out. So I mean, I can hit T to trim it off, and it does it, but it's just one thing you got to factor in when you're trying to do something. It will.
Like they often find the really spastic things that normal lines don't do. Just like that, like you move it and it'll change shape, despite the fact that you haven't actually done anything.
Yep.
And I'll be damned if I can figure out why. And it doesn't do it on all of them either. Just occasionally. Or like when I was working on my ring, I had this line went from base to the hand and just arched down onto the top of the ring. It's only like 3 points line.
Yeah.
And only maybe 3 millimeters long. And I could not figure out why, like, or sweep or whatever I was trying to do, just would not do it.
Yeah.
I figured out that if I went into the menu and changed, like, the type of sweep from what it was by default to the other setting, which is what I didn't want. It's still not working, but then if I switched it back to the one that I want, it'd just instantly pop up. And that took me like 3 hours to figure out. I'm like, why can't I switch this tiny little spline? All I had to do was switch mode from what it should be to what it shouldn't be, back to what it should be.
Oh yeah. Like I've had issues where I go and do something, and I've done it before, and when I go to try to redo it, or like I messed up, so I'd taken it back and I tried to redo it, it won't work. Like say for offset, it just won't work. I mean, obviously it's working, but if I try something like that, at times I'm working on it, but it won't work for me no matter what I do. And it drives me absolutely nuts when I'm sitting there. Like, I just did this. And in Blender, I've had the same issue with Blender. I mean, this was years ago when I did Blender before I got into Fusion 360. And of course, another thing why I talked to you earlier about it. In Blender is they changed the interface from whenever I had gotten and started using it. And this new update where there's tabs on the sides and stuff. I mean, we got our stuff up here. Where just imagine everything being here. So you have your tabs, and you just gotta, it will drop down. So you got to figure it out. Like, let's open Blender, and I can show you. So yeah, see, here's all these here. So you can scroll down, and this over here is pretty much the same. I mean, there's a couple different things. I mean, so there's all the hotkeys, and so whenever I did the hotkeys for this and trying in Fusion 360, my brain was like, well, this button, no, this doesn't work. Right, hit O. This is what happens when I hit O. So I mean, let's see, hit spacebar. This is what happens when I hit spacebar. Let's see, Fusion 360. Exit there, spacebar.
Now set your own custom locating. Figure that bloody time.
So let's do this. So instance here. Let's make that 6 inches. Mr. Carrell Science, I think your baby's getting way too into this tutorial.
Teaching them from a young age.
There you go.
Show me those fillets, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, stand for it, mama.
I'm glad I'm not monetized.
No, it's okay. It's a real thing.
No, I did not say point. I said enter. And see this is one of the things I hit enter and it's not taking it. That's one of the things now and again. So let's go. What's that?
Why wouldn't you just pattern that if they're all going to be the same?
Well, yeah, that's true. I can just, let's see. Go back. Let's see, at times I just go and do something. I'm just like, just toss it in like this. Let's see.
I've done it before too. I've sat there and done like 10 of the same thing and then gone, what the hell did I do?
All right, path. What do we want here? Object. No, see, that's the thing. I've got that. It's not negative faces, features, and that's one of the problems is try to go in and do something unless I've got an actual object extruded at times. Say if I take here and I hit extrude, let's just take it out 1.2. Okay. I did on a path.
The one under the create menu won't work in the sketch environment.
Sketch. You said line?
Rectangular pattern.
Rectangular.
Right out of the line.
I can't hear you.
It's a rectangular pattern, grayed out, right down the bottom.
Okay. Oh.
No, like at the bottom of the main menu. Yeah. Almost there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
sketch environment with that one.
yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Remember you sketch there. The other ones under create don't work. And I fall for that all the time. I'll go to like fill at the corner in a sketch and I'm like, what? Bloody hell isn't this working? The model fill it tool.
Increase my count. Should be close to 10. And I think this isn't. Yeah, that's way too small. 8. No, that's still too big. All right, let's put that. No, let's try. What's that?
Formulas very much.
No, a lot of it is I go through and I trial and error. Usually I'll, depending on how big of an area I want, I'll usually just see what it's going to do.
Yeah, I usually play around with that and then the sudden realization that I can just maths to calculate the exact thing that I want, and I'm like, I just wasted 15 minutes playing around with this to get it exact.
Yeah, so.
So one thing I love about it is when you remove that, all of the power that it has, it's phenomenal. But so many years of modeling and 3D, Max, it's more like just stuff here and there. I've been using Vision 6 months. I still forget about little things like that sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's the fun thing is you go through and kind of check 6.5. No, not that. see. So I'm trying to see, because when I did it and I did the calculation on it, I was thinking about 6 inches each, and I did divided by 58.5, and that gave me 9.75 each that I'll have, I guess. So let's see. And that's a lot of things that I go through and do. I'm trying to figure out how big one thing should be for this, if I'm going to add something, and then just kind of see which one's going to get me the closest to it. So let's go. Add 9. Yeah. It looks fairly close. And I know they're not the same distance just by looking at it. Yeah, it's 5. So let's see. Change that to 5. But then that's changed there. So then I gotta go back. So let's go.
One coming handy in that situation just this morning. Trying to remember what the hell it was.
So why don't you just make that first one 5.85? You're going to do 10 of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then do your pattern and just do 58.5 minus 5.85. And then set that as your distance when you draw your pattern. 9 more. And then when you draw out your pattern to the distance, do 58.5 minus 5.5, and that you just manually type that in as your distance.
I know, I just screwed that up. All right, let's try that again.
So 52.65.
Let's see. Yeah, good.
Section, and it kind of automatically applies that to subsequent sections.
Let's see, I'm gonna select shift. Every other one, extrude that 1.25 out. So I'm gonna go back and edit my sketch. Extrude that 1.5. It kind of does, doesn't it? All right, let's see.
I was thinking more Transformers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see that.
Kind of funny how what people see different shape or the same shape.
Like when you look up at the clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's just as soon as somebody says, "Oh, I don't know, I see that," you're like, "Oh, totally." Then when people say that, "Oh, I see that in that cloud," you're kind of like, "Really?"
All right, so fill it again, and I know there's some other way to get this done a whole lot more efficient than what I'm doing, but see, like right here, it added a fillet, and I didn't want that fillet there. There we go. Let's go fillet. Just want the top part.
Just tend to uncheck the tangent chain button.
Which button you said?
Tangent chain.
Tangent chain. I'm looking. My brain. I've been going on like 3.5 hours of sleep right now. So.
The ticked box.
Okay.
That'll only select 1 inch rather than all the edges.
Okay. Well, let's try that again. And see, there's a lot of things I obviously still don't know. It's like I run across something and.
Often you don't really know those things because a lot of the time you go to select something and select that.
Oh yeah.
You have never needed to not select a part of something you never even think to uncheck.
Yeah, and normally if I do something close to this, I usually will sit there and have a gap, look in and do my sketch to where there's, like a couple millimeters apart from it, and not actually have this entire thing going through like that. So there's that. Look at it. See all that now. Oh, that's good. So let's front view.
I don't know why, but for some reason, that just made me think of Tim Toolman Taylor talking to Wilson over the fence.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a memory I never thought I'd have again.
Glad we can make you relive that moment. I don't want 145. I want 2. Select that, extrude that too as well.
Have you ever delved into some parameters?
Oh, possibly. There's a lot of things I've done and not done. Can't quite remember everything that I've done. No, I want that. I'll edit sketch first, I guess. That's not allowing me to do what I want to do. There we go. Now extrude it. Take that out 2 millimeters as well. So, yep, that was my wife texting me.
Sounded like a tweet train.
Let's go 0.5. Select that side, 0.5 as well. That will take that as a.
That's a quality I came over the other day as well with the fillet. I had this line, and like over the entire model, I've been applying G2 curvature fillets. One line would not do it, but it would do a G1. I have no idea why.
Yeah, some things can be super odd when you're trying to get things done. It's not too bad. It's fairly close.
So what is this that we're actually modeling here?
So this is actually the crib that I've been designing.
So it looks like a bed.
Yeah, that's the back of the crib. I've got the front that will go here. It will kind of have somewhat of this design, and then there's the sides. So I've looked at a couple different cribs and how they all kind of flow, and taken a couple different ideas from that, and then some actual doors, so how those actually go and move around. So one thing obviously you don't want is the sharp corner up there. Grab that and
Oh my God, still a baby.
0.2. And the nice thing about 3D modeling this is I can go through and at my dimensions and everything that I have. If I go in and edit my sketch, I got my dimension here for how wide my board needs to be. Now this one, let's see, dimension from here. So, you get a 2-inch board to go for here. Oh, there you go. And then this one's got to be about the same thickness, so you do somewhat of the same board, but also stop my sketch. I've got this extruded, 2 inches out. So this is cut and then use a router on it. And then this piece I can have extend forward more or the same size. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things I can do for that. But then these ones, I'm just going to take a router to it and just kind of round over the edges. These are going to be individual boards, which I can have the same length and just kind of get them all stuck together and have it work properly. So
There are round bits actually that shape on there.
What's that?
Like they're router bits shaped like that kind of.
Yeah, you can get different router bits shaped different ways. So I need to pick some up. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna end this live stream now. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and my wife wants me to go to bed. So
Probably good timing, I think.
yeah. So.
Are you still playing on the computer?
All right. Let's see.
I'll get about that here.
Stop playing, honey. Just serious stuff.
So, all right. Well, I will stop the broadcasting of this. So everyone that's joined in and watched, thank you. As some people have, Mr. Carrell Science and Welbot told me, yeah, don't do it like this. Try this. So I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. People at times will know other ways to do it. So, all right. So until then, everyone, you all have a good time, and stay creative. All right, bye.